Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Ms. Joyce Paulyard, holistic strategist, and thank you for downloading the personal summary statement. So just a brief overview to help you get started, right? So this is part of step one of the wealth building blocks, which is getting organized and having systems or routines. So that's step two. So welcome to the Simply Happy Tribe, TSH Tribe. Our mission since 2014 has always been to inspire and impact the lives of others. Our goal is to help moms, dad, aunties, uncles, and cousins build a better life and legacy. We must do the work to win. Remember that with God, all things are possible. Your life has purpose and power. We help take away that confusion when you want to get ahead, replacing it with consistency and confidence. So complete the personal summary pages that follow and share them with a few trusted loved ones. Let's break down the barriers to building. So let's get into this. Before we get started, I just want to share how this came about, because in the hospital, working as a case manager, we often have to have face sheets with basically the information about patients, the doctor's information, their next of kin, their emergency contact. And if they come from a facility, we have medications, we have different things listed. And I remember that once upon a time, journals and organizers used to come with that page in the beginning where you could write your physician down, you could write your bank information, your emergency contacts. However, we have gone so much digital, some things get lost in translation. So I believe that it is very important for us to have these things on paper written down, because who knows your passwords to your computer? Who knows the password to your phone? Who knows the password to your email address? A lot of these statements, these things are kept online where we don't have somebody in the event there's an emergency. Like if I couldn't make decisions for myself tomorrow, God forbid something happens, how would my family be able to know how to pay my mortgage? They'll have to probably wait, scoping out the mail to find a statement. There's money out there, there's life insurance policies. And the worst thing that can happen is that we're not organized. We don't have these things in a set place, and that we're suffering, or that we've had things in place and yet our family doesn't have access to them because we didn't let them know what was going on, right? So it's important to set it up, but it's also important to let people know what's going on. So services that we offer before we go over the personal summary statement is definitely term life insurance with living benefits, personal life insurance with, or permanent life insurance with cash value. We also do 401k rollovers. So if you left a job and you still have that money sitting there, there's ways that you can get bonuses on your money. There's some ways that you can protect your money. Okay, take it out the market because the market is very volatile. We also offer home ownership programs. We offer credit building and rebuilding, and also notary services. So call or text 954-247-4986 today, and let's build. So like I said, I'm Joyce Paulyard, holistic strategist, helping you build a better life and legacy through the Simply Happy Society. So with the personal summary statement, first we have hi, mommy.
Hi, what about that last one?
Not yet. I was on a client call. So give me I'll be there by 12. Give me a few minutes.
By 12?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bye. So like I was saying, personal summary statement, you want to include your name, you want to put your date of birth, you want to put your address, and if you have a P.O. box, you can add that as well. You want to write down your primary physician. You want to have at least 3 emergency contacts that people can reach in the event of an emergency. You also want to have your power team. So this might be like your life insurance agent, your tax professional, your if you have a personal banker, your mortgage broker, anybody that you feel like you confer with when it comes to big life decisions. You want to have that here because yes, you want to have your things organized, but put it all up down right here. And that way your family doesn't need to, go shuffling through papers in the event there's an emergency and they need to contact someone. All right. Or go on Facebook and try to like go look stuff up that way. And then the second part of the personal summary statement, you want to list all of your assets: checking account, savings account, life insurance, whether it's term, whole life, index universal life, variable. And if you have something at work, you can also list that here, which is probably going to be a temporary term policy. Your 401k and pension plan, especially if you had old 401ks that you decide to leave at your old job, but we can move that to a safer place. But you can also list that here. Any brokerage investments accounts, like listen, during the pandemic, people were signing up for Robinhood, they were signing up for Stockpile, they were signing up for E-Trade, all these different accounts that help you to invest. But we got to have it all listed here because we don't want somebody having to go search through our phone to find our assets in the event that it's an emergency. So oftentimes people will tell me, well, when I'm gone, you know, like I don't really care, but that's the best case scenario, is that you're gone. Worst case scenario, you're alive, suffering, and you got money, but nobody knows that you got money, right? And we don't want it to end up on that website where you look for like lost funds that weren't claimed. And also other investments. So if you have any land, if you have any other investment, anywhere that you have put your money, if somebody owe you money, if you invested somebody and they owe you money, put it on here, write it down, because you can always print out another copy and update it. And also the last page of the personal summary statement is living legacy. So oftentimes we go through the day and we're not sitting down, we're not actually having that conversation with self. So values, missions, and mantras are important. So values, what do you value in life? Do you value family? Do you value freedom? Do you value your time? Do you value naps like me? Do you value being able to take a trip? Write those things down. So as you're building, you remember, like, these are the things that I value. Like I value taking a good nap on a Wednesday afternoon. So I'm not going to do certain things in life if I know it goes against the things that I value. Also, when it comes to mission, what is your mission in life? Who do you want to help? Who do you want to become? Because oftentimes when things get hard, we have to go back to the beginning and go back to our values and our mission to make it all make sense, right? Because oftentimes our dreams and goals are not packaged up pretty. We have to go through some things. So definitely writing those things down will help you, overcome that burden or hurdle if you're going through that situation. Then you want to also have your mantras. Mantras are things that keep you moving. I have a lot of mantras. I'll say, make it make sense. I'll say, such as life. I'll say, gotta lose to win. So anything, something that you say often, but also mantras help you to reframe your state of mind, because oftentimes if there's a situation that goes on, we often get stuck in that point, right? So having those mantras will definitely help you to say, you know what, let me think about this. Let me reframe my mindset. Like I always say, positivity is powerful. That's one of my mantras. So in any situation, our mind is going to believe whatever we tell it. So we might as well tell it good things. And then the last part is goals. What are your goals? Is it to increase savings? Is it to reduce debt? Is it to reduce taxes for retirement? Do you need to set up a living will? Do you need to choose your healthcare surrogate? And also, do you need to select your power of attorney? So this is something that is very important. Oftentimes people believe that just because they have a will in place, if something happens to them, then their family's okay. A will does not stop the probate process. You have to have a proper plan in place. You have to have a trust set up to protect your assets, because basically you having a trust is basically saying, you know what, with this document, this person can stand on my behalf. They don't have to go before a court or judge, have to hire lawyers. And we work with lawyers. I partner with a law firm that offers the whole setup for $997. That's the rate today. Things change, everything's going up. But for now, it is $997, and they're able to set up the living will, healthcare surrogate, power of attorney, and the trust. In the event, let's take me, for example, I have this home, I'm single, it's only deeded to me. God forbid something happens to me, even if I set up a living will and do it online for free. If something happens to me, my family would still have to hire a lawyer, would still have to go before the court, and justify like, hey, is this document valid? Is this what she really wanted? Why go through all that when I can spend sometimes people spend tens of thousands of dollars on the back end when they could have spent $1,000 to $3,500 to do it on the front end. Make it make sense. Get your will in place, get your advance directives, stop putting that stress on your family, right? Because I work hard for my house. I remember that, this is so sidebar, but I remember my belongings was in my car for 5 days in a U-Haul waiting for me to close. Like I had to get out of my old apartment. My lease was up. I knew I was closing. They were trying to give me some time. I had to get out the old apartment. I was waiting for the new, like the closing, and it wasn't occurring fast enough. So guess what? I left my stuff in front of my mom's house in a U-Haul. Like I know all the things that it took for me to have to get this house, and I'm not going to give it up that easily. Like I want my daughter to, maybe God forbid something happens to me and my family's able to rent out the property. And then when my daughter gets old enough, she could decide, does she want to keep the house? Does she want to sell it? That would be up to her. But I'm putting a proper plan in place, and so should you. So thank you for downloading the personal summary statement. Fill this out, but even in the midst of you filling it out, contact me. Let's set up a one-on-one discussion. Let's have that conversation to put a proper plan in place. Thank you again. I am Ms. Joyce Pollard, holistic strategist, looking forward to helping you build for a better life and a brighter future. Ta-ta.